Oh boy. Welcome everybody to the Eden Army podcast. I'm your host tonight, Pete Robertucci. This is season 2, episode 2, and I am glad you guys are with me tonight. But a little bit of housekeeping first. Don't forget, guys and gals, the Rally Point class is February 6th through the 8th. Uh, Also, what else do I have here for notes? Russ's book is available on Audible. Joe Niermeyer's book is expected to be ready on Audible tomorrow. And Nick Meacher's book is available on hardcover. So kind of cool. Guys, don't forget Russ is popping them all up. Don't forget, guys, to like, share, and comment. And thank you for your subscriptions, Opie, Joe Niermeyer, and Dan. We really appreciate all of that, guys. We'll cycle through these things. That way, you can scan the QR code or do whatever you do with it. That way, we are all on the same page. Boy, oh, the Orange Man's going crazy, guys. The Orange Man is losing his mind. But that's just one of the things we're going to talk about. Tonight, we're going to talk about Iran, of course. We got to talk about that, right? We're going to talk about Greenland. I've got a theory about Greenland that might be gaining a little bit of traction on the internet. But we'll talk about Greenland and what that means to us from a national security standpoint and what I think Trump is doing behind the scenes with all that. We're going to talk about a brazen attack on a police officer in South Carolina. Also, what's going on in Minneapolis, right? Of course, we got to talk about that. And speaking of Minneapolis, Trump's about to pull the nuclear card in MSP. He's going to enact the Insurrection Act if the local authorities do not get the violence under control. And that is the nuclear option. And we're going to talk about what that means for those people over there in Minnesota. And will that escalate what's going on, or will that squish it? I've got an opinion, but I'd be interested to hear what you guys have to say about it. Also, the Clintons refuse to honor a congressional subpoena, which, if I remember correctly, there were a couple Republicans a few years ago that did that exact same thing and ended up in prison. So let's see. Do we have a two-tiered justice system, or was that just a DOJ, a weaponization of the DOJ by the Biden administration? And are we going to see retribution now that we have a Republican in office? Hey, no one's above the law, right? That's what I say. But first, let's see what happens when lefty twinks actually are introduced to a MAGA man.
What happens when a MAGA man, a patriot, has to face off against 3, 4, 5 crazed leftists? This is what happens. Watch. There's 1. There's 2. There's 3. Oh, there goes a 4th. Oh, he backed off. He don't want none. Oh, here comes number 1 coming back. Red coat coming back. Coming back for more. I like the fighting stance. Hands at the side. My favorite fighting stance. Love it. And he's out.
Hey, guys.
Oh, as far as I'm concerned, this was all self-defense. They were antagonizing him. They were assaulting him, especially with that bullhorn. So I'm completely fine with him defending himself there.
Oh boy, that old red coat took it at the end. We folded up like a lawn chair, didn't he?
Oh, he crumbled.
Yeah, he did.
If you could have seen me off camera, I was laughing so hard at that.
I mean, he just stiffened up. He was out. He was
Yeah,
out.
he was like
before he hit the ground. It was epic. I love it. Guys, Kick is blowing up right now. I appreciate that, guys. We got Bullshites in the house. P7. We got Mama Tooch is in there. Cheese Doodle's there. Where'd you come in?
She's awake.
She lives over there. Mama Teresa. And Tom Brace made it in as well. Man Crush Monday's there. Agnes is there. Good gosh. It is fired up. Meta. Who else we got? Guy, Christy, EA1. Polly Ham, of course.
Miss
And
Terry.
Rev, my spiritual advisor, who keeps me on track, guys. Rev keeps me on track. When I start to go overboard on some stuff on podcasts, I always get a text or something back from him. He goes, look, brother. He always calls me brother. Look, brother in Christ. You went a little crazy at minute number 32 there, and I want you to tone it back a little bit. Cheese Doodle says, "Sun's down, she's awake." Moon's out, goons out, baby girl. Moon's out, goons out. So yeah, guys, how was y'all's week so far? Paul, we missed you last week, but go ahead, Paul. What'd you do this week?
Just a lot of recovering and working. That flu got me, put me down for a couple weeks, but I'm back. I can breathe, so things are good.
Baby steps. That's what else. Diana was sick too, probably with the same stuff that's going around. Russ, and you brought the cold weather to Florida, I see. So how's it going over there at the Angry Mansion?
Angry Mansion is still vertical, and we're just relaxing, chilling. Just hanging out, trying to get my head wrapped around book 2 and get back into it, and hopefully get it out.
Oh, writing. Oh yeah, we gotta write. That's what we do, right? We gotta have to write.
Yeah, we have to write.
Oh yeah, guys, don't forget we are going to do prep of the week. So if you've got a prep of the week, go ahead and spit it out in chat, and Russ will tag it, and we'll talk about it. I'll tell you what I did this week. Had some fun. Sandra Davis is over there on YouTube, and Will is also. Kick will not accept my password or let me change her name. Even the rest couldn't fix it. All right, so hang out on YouTube. Will's there with you. You and Will make a good team over there. And Skidmore just showed up in house. Boy, it is blowing up. Were there any other podcasts this week, Russ, or what? Everyone just
there was everything this week. Bob was on, and he had Pat Miletich and Doc Will on talking about Soil Savior. Chris Amell did a Patreon on Tuesday, and then Chris with Bob and Sue had one last night. We got a full house this
Thursday night just because they love to see you, Russell. I don't know what to tell you.
It ain't me, brother. I got ugly here I got ugly cover when I get here.
I hear you. Yeah, Patrick, we are no green screens. New year, new us, brother. That's what we're talking about. Not really. New year, same asshole Pete. I told you that last week. Okay, we can get rid of that one there. Russ, have you been following what's been going on in St. Paul?
Oh, yes. You can't hardly look at any news media without it being on there. So,
yeah. And I think they got another one today, right? Didn't they pop another one in the leg today or yesterday? Illegal immigrant from Venezuela. Yep. So there's all kind of like, oh, look, here's the deal, guys. Before you watch the news, remember we talked about this last year, right? The intellect before emotion, right? Do your due diligence and find out what really happened, because they were chasing this Venezuelan illegal immigrant who was a criminal. He got out of the car, he ran, got a couple of his buddies, and then they started to beat him with a snow shovel, the ICE agent.
Ambushed him with a snow shovel.
All the advice I would give to that ICE agent, first of all, don't go alone. And second of all, aim higher, dum-dum, because you only hit him in the leg. All right.
Absolutely.
So there you go. Larry Kyles, 21 months as a subscriber. Thank you, Larry. We appreciate you, brother.
And you said you just mentioned intellect before emotion. That's the problem. No one on the left is using intellect. They are, as soon as like the first event happened, the mainstream media grabbed it. All of the freaking talking heads up in Minneapolis that all need to be arrested, grabbed it, said their rhetoric, and incited all of what we're seeing.
And it's not even the left, right? It's the libertarians that we know. It's the whack jobs, and it's even the guys that are way off to the right that are just 100% pure MAGA, that don't think that the Orange Man does anything wrong. Look, I've always said when I disagree with the Orange Man, So look, you gotta think of it and look at everything in totality before you get on Facebook and start yapping a lot about it, right? Candace Owens, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
I lost a friend on Facebook this past week because I reposted something about that I agreed with the fact that it was a good shoot on the first one.
Yeah.
And she's like, so were you saying you agree with this anarchy or whatever, blah, blah, blah? And yeah, I do. And now I got unfriended and I'm really, really, really heartbroken about it, as you can tell.
yeah, of course. Look,
I mean, I'm beside myself.
don't try to run over ICE agents, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how many times. And there was another one that was trying to do it again. I'm surprised this knucklehead didn't get smoked. Don't run over ICE agents, and don't run over any cops for that matter. And look, I tell you what, you guys that want to do that stuff, come down to Florida, stand in the middle of the road, and we'll see how that works out for you. Because guess what? It doesn't even have to be ICE agents or cops at that point, because we live in the free state of Florida. So stick that in your crack pipe, lefties. Oh boy!
Take them down to Derbyshire and Daytona, and just let them run free. And watch how quick they try and get out.
They probably fit in just pretty damn good down there, actually. But it'd be like Escape from New York, right? Let me get rid of this up here, Russ, since we went to a different screen here. There, we'll do it that way. Julie Dorn and Roy are watching on the Den TV. I don't know that I would. Hopefully, it's a small TV because I don't want my big old face to be ruining y'all's night.
He's got a pretty good sized TV in there.
Oh, Jesus. Take a picture.
I mean,
send it to me.
But they're old and they can't see really well, especially Roy. So it doesn't look as bad. We're kind of blurry.
Oh goodness. Let's see. Don't be hating on Derbyshire. Oh, that's EA1's old stomping grounds, I think. Hey, I lived down the road. I lived off of Shady Park Terrace off of Derbyshire when I was little. So I'm one of them dirty white boys. I know how we roll. Yeah, Polk County, Skidmore. Don't do that stuff in Polk County. But here's the nuclear option for Trump. And all I have to say to Tampon Tim and Fry, the mayor of Minneapolis, you better get your shit in order, because if Trump pushes this nuclear button, you're all screwed. And I'm going to go ahead and run this clip, and then we'll discuss what this really friggin' means.
Minutes ago, President Trump issued a threat to invoke the Insurrection Act, allowing him to deploy troops to Minnesota to address the protests against immigration enforcement. This comes hours after a second person was shot by federal agents in Minneapolis. Homeland Security says it happened after a Venezuelan man fled from a targeted traffic stop. DHS claims two others attacked the officer with a shovel and a broom, so the agent shot the man in the leg in self-defense. That officer was also hospitalized.
So, guys, what does the Insurrection Act mean? And before anybody says it's unconstitutional, let's use a little bit of that intellect, right? Let's research what the Insurrection Act is for and why it's constitutional for. And just tell me, I'm going to read off some of why the Insurrection Act actually exists, and you tell me if this applies, guys, to anything that's happening in Minneapolis, St. Paul. It authorized the president to use military to suppress insurrection, rebellion, or domestic violence. I think domestic violence kind of hits right there, right? Go ahead, Russ. You got something to say to that?
Nope, that was one.
Yeah, that's one.
We're checking them off.
Yeah. Enforces federal law when states are unable or unwilling to protect constitutional rights. Looks like we nailed another one. I don't know. Let's see. Federalizes state National Guard units without that state's governor's consent. That would apply, certainly. Deploys troops to protect federal property, officials, or functions. Kind of applies right there. Intervene when state governments fail to maintain public order. Wow. And to say, well, it's never happened before. We've never done that before. Yeah. first of all, we've done that before. And last time we did it was 1992, I think, for one of the riots there. What else do I got here?
George, the LA riots in '92.
Yeah, it was
And then
92,
there should
and
have been
some of the
Alabama.
misnomers. It doesn't automatically impose martial law. Some of the reasons that actually could be put in place is if the state requests a federal help to quell unrest. Of course, we know that Tampon Tim's never going to ask anything from the Orange Man. Does he need it? He definitely needs help. When violence prevents so the president can enact the Insurrection Act when violence prevents enforcement of federal law. Weird. And when citizens are being denied their constitutional right and the state fails to act. I don't know that one particularly applies, but I don't know. What do you think, guys?
It doesn't say that all must apply. It just says these are instances in which it could apply. Correct.
Right. Any one of these instances gives the president authority.
Yeah, he's golden.
Yeah, he's good to go. So I don't care what the courts say, because it's going to go to court and it's going to be, but it doesn't matter. We're already seeing a flooding of ICE agents into these areas because local law enforcement is not protecting these federal agents. So now when they were mad that 1,200 agents were there, now there's 3,500 because you, Tampon Tim, and you, Mayor Fry, decided that you wanted to wage war on the federal government. And this is what happens. So this is the ultimate fuck around, find out, right? Now you're going to find out. And if I'm telling you guys, if he goes ahead and throws this Insurrection Act out, one of two things are going to happen. Either it's going to get real ugly or it's going to calm way the F down. And I suspect it's going to calm down. Why do I suspect that, guys? Because it's weird that these riots are not really as intense as the BLM 2020 riots. And why do you think that is? I'm going to tell you why that is. Because we stopped the funding to the NGOs that were funding these riots. You're not seeing pallets of bricks being put outside of federal buildings right now. Yes, there are still signs being already made up ahead of time, and there are some paid actors out there, but nothing compared to when our tax dollars through these NGOs were being used to fund our own insurrection. So that's just a thought. That's just a thought that I had, but I feel like that there's a little bit of validity to that. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Oh, I think so. And I agree with you. It's going to, what needs to happen, and we say this just about every week. Number one, is already happening at the lower levels. People are getting arrested now for interfering with ICE agents. I just read something on X a minute or two ago about the border czar is actually coming up with an ICE protester database. He's going to start, they're still going to have a database. And that's a good thing, because then we can start tracking these people, and then we can start tracking the money behind some of these people. And, those arrests are happening.
And we're starting to see a lot less of the black bloc dressed people, right? The people we'd normally associate with Antifa. Why? Why are we seeing less of them? Because now they're considered a domestic terrorist organization, and Trump is isolating the funding toward Antifa. They say, oh, Antifa was just an idea. It never really existed. Well, it seemed to disappear pretty quick after the funding went away.
Now, we not seeing them because they've changed their tactics and not wearing the black bloc?
I don't know that if that's the case. I think what's ended up happening is they've lost the funding to mobilize. In my opinion, they've lost. They're not able to be chartered into these areas like they were when Kyle Rittenhouse hit the trifecta over there in Kenosha, right? So I don't know.
I think you may be right, because those folks that are the money people know they're on a short list, short leash. You've been told, they have.
Well, and there's a lot more assets that can be brought to bear because now that they've been labeled as a domestic terrorist organization. So there's a lot more federal assets. That's funny. But Rev, we just talked about this.
Yeah. Rev's really
Yeah,
negative
you're
right
right.
now.
They don't make black bloc. What? There's a
But
good joke. There's a good joke in there for fat white women in black bloc, but I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna go there.
Jesus.
I'm not going to go there. Terry asked a question. She says, does the Insurrection Act affect all areas or just the ones he's targeting? I suspect that it would take place on where the unrest or the federal law being hindered is actually in place. So I'm sure he would have to say something like, we're instilling the Insurrection Act in these areas, and that's where he would surge his military troops. They broke into an ICE car and ended up getting into the weapons cache inside. So I saw at least one long rifle being taken out with a very clear picture, guys, of who took it. So if you don't think that the FBI is on this guy's ass, look, he's got the tattoos that are, he's not going to be able to cover him up. So let's see. Yeah, Cheese Doodle. Oh, where is it at here? Look, here's the deal. This is what they do, Cheese Doodle. They amp it all up, and then when something's going to happen to them, when the feds are coming, then they say, "Go, look, guys, you need to amp down." They've done this in every single circumstances. F them. They've already amped it up. The mayor is already saying, "Look, get the F out of here, ICE. We need to take it to the streets. We need to do this." Here's the deal, guys. If you don't want ICE on your street, this is to Tampon Tim. If you don't want ICE on your streets, then allow ICE into your prison system to take away the illegal immigrants that have already committed a crime within your prison systems. Then they wouldn't be on the streets, dum-dums. They wouldn't be on the streets. You could walk them right into your prison system. They could take the Venezuelan guys and walk them right out and put them on a plane. Okay? That's what could happen. But no, you're choosing, because you want Orange Man to look bad, to have ICE on your streets going house to house. This is on Walsh and this is on Fry. 100%, hands down. Not to mention AOCs of the world, not to mention Omars of the world. So I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, and I saw this, Patrick. There were a lot of personal documents, not personal documents, but ICE documents that were taken out of this and already being used to dox ICE agents. So it could get ugly. I wouldn't want to be an ICE agent right now.
And I saw, I think it was I don't know whether it was a state representative or a federal level representative. He was doxing people, live tweeting. They're here. They're driving through these parking lots. Need to be hemmed up. It's time to start hemming some people up.
Well, and here's where the GOP right now is losing their base, right? There's a perfect opportunity to start arresting these high-profile officials. We can talk about the Walsh potential tie-in with the Somalian fraud, right? But I think that there's enough evidence there that we need to start walking these high-end officials in out of their mansions and put them in cuffs. Until that starts happening, the GOP base is going to lose faith in them, and it very well costs them the midterms.
Very much so.
But we'll
Sue said the same thing last night. They have to start doing what they promise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do what you promise. And you know what? Well, that's another story. But Paul, your thoughts on all this? I know you got to be a little bit reserved, but so your thoughts on the Insurrection Act per se, and is it a good move or a bad move for the federal government to implement it?
I think it's a good move. And I've been thinking about how I want to phrase this. The reason I think you're not seeing, the levels like we did with BLM is because the BLM movement and the Antifa idiots did what they intended to do, and they empowered people with no control that are just going out rioting, looting. Like, I think that the after effect of that is bigger than those guys being present. in the city.
And I think you're right. And I think to get back with the BLM movement in the beginning was not bad. The BLM movement was not violent. It wasn't until the paid Antifa protesters got involved, those paid instigators got involved, that the violence and the destruction really started happening. And these are the 20-year-olds, the 30-year-old white basement dwellers that were, got enough crack money from the NGOs that they were able to go do this stuff. But the BLM movement at the beginning wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was peaceful. It wasn't until the Antifa goons got involved. But Antifa goons, Antifa's just an idea. Look, I say send it. Make them all ice skate, Terry. Make them all ice skate. It's awfully chilly right now in St. Paul. Make them ice skate. So
yeah, they can set themselves. They can set themselves on fire and warm up.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, I mean, let's see what here. There's a lot. I'm really censoring myself this evening.
Yeah, back in the 80s and 90s, we did a lot of riot control training in the military because we had, especially over in Europe, because we had a lot of really big bomb protesters, and we had a couple of protests that we had to deal with, and a water cannon in an arc on a cold day makes the bad guys, they just want to pack up and leave.
Yeah, they'll get cold sooner.
And if they get froggy,
they'll start a fire, and then that's it. They can get them for that.
Yeah, then they get froggy, and you drop it down more level and turn up the pressure, and you knock them across the street.
I did see another video where some of the Black Panthers were getting involved in some of these protests. And if you guys are not familiar with the history behind the Black Panthers, you might want to do your research. They've been one of the oldest domestic terrorist organizations in our country, right behind the Ku Klux Klan, by the way. And I put those both on equal footing, the KKK as well as the Black Panthers. They're both equally as bad. They potentially could get involved, but there's a lot of chatter, right? If ICE comes to my house, we saw that at the beginning of this, and then they just hemmed up guys in their house who said they were going to put bullets in ICE agents, and then they ended up crying and asked, what I do wrong? Stop. So it has, look, it has the potential to pop. I don't know. But what's happening is this dangerous rhetoric on law enforcement, guys, is spilling out. And it's not just spilling out in Minneapolis or St. Paul. It's not spilling out in Ohio, not Dearborn, Michigan. It's also happening in North Carolina. So if you think there's not a war in this country on law enforcement, you might want to watch this video.
That'd be South.
Out here at 6 o'clock, watch closely here on your screen the moments an officer's ambush in downtown Greenville. It's the officer's patrol car, the headlights facing us, and the sparks flying there as the suspect's vehicle pulls up and then drives away. Investigators have not yet said exactly what was fired at the officer, but you can see it was significant because that officer is seriously injured, still in the hospital recovering. And take a look at that patrol car. You can see those holes there, the charred remains on that side of that vehicle, the camera there, the side mirror, just melting away. And watch it again here. You can see the patrol car, they're facing us, the headlights looking at us here. And again, investigators saying this is the suspect's vehicle driving into that parking lot there, the law enforcement center, early Sunday morning in downtown Greenville. Watch these moments unfold here. Again, patrol car there on the far left of your screen, headlights facing us, suspect vehicle driving up slowly here. The officer still sitting there in their patrol car, and this is the moment the suspect then pulls up and fires those shots right into the patrol car. Again, you see the sparks flying. Looks as if it's some sort of fireworks or something. But again, investigators have not said exactly what was fired. But the officer, we understand, able to crawl out of that patrol car. That's when the suspect drives away. And you can see the moments that are left there in that patrol car, in that vehicle, those holes, and the burnt siding there for that patrol car. We're also getting new video here tonight at 6 o'clock of the man accused of firing those shots at that Greenville police officer. A woman sent us this video showing David Lane walking around her apartment complex earlier this month, looking right into the camera. She says Lane had harassed her daughter, and his threats became more and more violent. Elaine is that man accused of shooting that police officer at the law enforcement center. This is what that scene looked like as investigators were getting there, helping that officer. This was early Sunday morning. Again, that officer now recovering. Lane later died by suicide after a chase with deputies.
Yeah, all those of so anyway, yeah, like the chat was already saying, 12 gauge shotgun, Dragon's Breath shells is what Lane was using. Lane later, like the report said, unalived himself because look, if you can't ambush these guys, you're not going to face them man on man, and you're going to unalive yourself like the coward that you are. Is that the first time you guys seen that video? Have you seen it before?
No, I saw it earlier.
It's the first time I saw it.
Yeah, so a lot to be said. That was in the parking lot of a police station, so clearly an ambush. And I can't really fault the officer for that whole, normally I'm all about situational awareness and this and that. But look, if I was a police officer, as soon as I left the building, my head would 100% be on a swivel, no matter where I'm at. I took a video of a guy at, where was it? It was at, what's that breakfast chain? It's going by me right now. The one that never closes for the hurricanes.
Waffle House.
Waffle House. I was in the Waffle House, and as soon as I walk in, I see a police officer there at the bar eating his breakfast back to the door. And I'm like, what is this guy doing right now? I don't know. Situational awareness, jarheads. Figure it out. Patrick says, this is an interesting point Patrick makes. He goes, I can tell you from firsthand knowledge that a lot of minority black people aren't in it this time. They're upset they didn't get their BLM money, and they don't care some white woman got hurt. Also, the black community is hurt by illegal immigration, and they're a little bit pissed about that. I agree. I never thought of that, but I agree 100% with you there. That's good stuff, Patrick. That's why I love you. Yeah, Caleb, right? Save us a little bit of tax dollars. Lord knows we need to save tax dollars after all the fraud going on in Minnesota. And there's another fraud thing going on. It's not just with the daycares now. Now it's with the emergency medical transports, right? That they've got something like $1.2 billion because they said that they were emergency transport units using COVID funds to help out, the poor people in the inner city. Another Somalian-run fraud that you can't tell me that these people with an average IQ of 68 were smart enough to devise without the help of Tampon Tim and Mrs. Omar. I don't know.
Yeah, it's ridiculous the how rampant the fraud is up there. And what's even worse, when they start looking a little deeper, California, Washington, Oregon, New York, they're
Ohio right now.
Ohio, Michigan, they're all going to come to light.
We'll see. And look, enough evidence right now, enough evidence to put people in jail. Right now is enough. Now I'd like to say, I'd like the cup is half full, right? I'd like to say they're building up enough evidence to make sure that these cases actually stick. But my cup half empty kind of guy, my glass half empty kind of guy says that they're not going to walk anybody out in handcuffs. And I'm telling you, Trump administration, I'm telling you, JD Vance, if you have any aspirations to be president in 3 more years, people better start coming out in handcuffs or you're going to lose your entire base.
And here's the deal. Let's go back to the Biden administration. They hit Mar-a-Lago. CNN was told that they were going to hit Mar-a-Lago. CNN was on the ground when they hit Mar-a-Lago. Mm-hmm. If these were Republican-run cities that was doing this stuff under a Democratic president, we'd already have people walking.
100%. And I mean, there'd already be a park walk going on right now.
I understand that we as Republicans, we're trying to do the right thing, but sometimes you got to fight fire with fire.
Russ, the right thing is saving the taxpayers money. We got a $37 trillion deficit. And when you're talking about $1 billion here, $1 billion there, $1 billion here, sooner or later, you're talking real money. This is money that we're paying out of our paychecks every week that's being squandered off by mostly illegal immigrants or people that are here on visas that they've overstayed, which reminds me, Somalians, your visas are revoked. And I think it's March 1st. If you're not a legal citizen, you're out. You're out. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of court wrangling behind that, but there are tens of thousands of Somalians that are getting ready to get their ass deported come around March or May 1st. I don't remember which one it is.
Well, and, I tell you, the other thing is, all of this fraud that's being exposed, the one thing it shows is we as Americans do not need to be paying nowhere near the amount of federal tax and state tax that we're paying.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. Like, at what point do we, as working people, say, "Look, I'm no longer paying this tax because you people are squandering it. You're allowing this to be mismanaged." At what point are we allowed to do that? I'm sure that if we got enough people to do that and bring it up to a federal judge, that he would have to hear it at some point, because we can prove that they're negligent with our money. So why should we be funding this stuff? I don't know. I don't understand it.
Yeah. But then you got people that just don't show up to their court hearings, and then what do you do?
Yeah, well, and some of these people aren't showing up to congressional hearings, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. But I wanted something that Tom said, that a lot of billionaires are leaving California because of the 5% wealth tax. This is even what makes me happier than the billionaires leaving California is the report that mook that was he was campaigning for Kamala Harris, and I'm talking about the good fella, the guy who thinks the actor that thought he was better than everybody else.
Yeah.
He's decided that he can no longer, under Mandami, afford to live in New York City.
Yeah, Robert De Niro,
that little mook bastard, a 4-foot tall little dwarf bastard. Now he's saying, "Oh, wait, hold on a second. Now you're coming after my savings." He says, "I haven't had a job in a while, guys. I'm only living on my savings. And now you want to take half of my savings, Mandami? Fuck you." That's what I say. Sorry, Rev. I'm sorry, Rev. I'm sorry. Let's see here. Yeah, but getting back to what you were talking about, I want two names I want to give: David Bannon and Peter Navarro. If you don't know who they are, those were the people where a DOJ went after for not showing up to a congressional subpoena. They actually did prison time. They were Republicans, didn't show up for a subpoena because they felt it was politically motivated, and they ended up doing jail time. So the left, they want to talk about the Epstein files. Where are the Epstein files? Where are the Epstein files? So when the Congress is trying, and this is a bipartisan Congress, tries to get people to come testify about the Epstein files, they don't even show up for their congressional hearings.
All right, Bill and Hillary Clinton have refused to appear before two House Oversight Committee to testify as part of their investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. In an 8-page letter to Chairman Comer, Clinton's lawyers said they, quote, have already provided the limited information they possess about Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. They called the effort, quote, nothing more than a ploy and attempt to embarrass Trump's political rivals. Chairman Comer spoke to reporters outside the hearing room where Bill Clinton was due to testify earlier today and laid out what is coming next. Take a look.
As a result of Bill Clinton not showing up for his lawful subpoena, which again was voted on unanimously by the committee in a bipartisan manner, we will move next week in the House Oversight Committee markup to hold former President Clinton in contempt of Congress.
All right, so Chairman Comer joins us now. Is it true that Peter Navarro was held in contempt and he went to prison, and Steve Bannon held in contempt and he went to prison? Did that happen in those cases?
100%. When Democrats subpoenaed Republicans and the Republicans didn't show, they held them in contempt, and the Department of Justice prosecuted them.
And do we have 17 chronicled examples of Jeffrey Epstein visiting Bill Clinton when he was president of our country?
Yes, Sean. When Bill Clinton was president, Jeffrey Epstein went to the White House 17 times, and then post-presidency, Bill Clinton flew on Jeffrey Epstein's plane at least 27 times. So that shows they were close. Again, no one's accusing Bill Clinton of any wrongdoing. We just have questions.
We just have questions, and leftists have questions, right? They only have questions when they think the orange man is implicated in these things. They don't have questions when Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton may be implicated in these things. They don't have questions when Obama deported more people than Trump ever has, and Janet Reno snatches Elian Gonzalez by gunpoint away from a house in Florida and sends him back to Cuba by himself. So they don't have questions about that, Russ. They don't have questions about that, Paul. Paul, you were too young for Gonzalez. Are you familiar with that?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So look, it's hypocrisy, right, guys? It's hypocrisy, and it's gaslighting. That's what my daughter told me. That's a term that I had to learn, right? That they're gaslighting, because she told me I was gaslighting her the other day about something. I don't know what the hell that means. Like a friggin' Urban Dictionary, the shit. And that's what they're doing to us. They're gaslighting us.
Now you're a dad. You're allowed to gaslight your child. It's in the rule books.
Yeah, it's not gaslighting. It's from personal experience.
So saying Steve Bannon did prison time. He did time. So I watched a lot of Locked In with Ian Bick. He did 4 months in FCI Danbury. It's like club fed. It's a prison camp. I'm pretty sure they said that there's no fences. There's people that were just like leaving at night to go get like fast food and coming back.
I don't mind that for even a Bill Clinton, though, Paulie. I don't mind that, because at least it's some type of justice. But we care about the victims. Well, potentially this guy was a predator. Potentially, allegedly, maybe. I don't know. All I know is there's a picture of him wearing a dress for Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know what all that means, guys. But
given Clinton's track record.
Yeah. So, and look, Hillary, I'm sorry. Don't unalive me. Don't Hillary me. It's the truth, sweetheart. I don't know what to tell you, but I don't expect you to understand that, since you forget about that. I won't say that.
I did not Epstein myself. But,
yeah, this is what I was getting at. Bullshit right there. That's why I stopped. That's why I stopped my sentence. Oh, that's good stuff. That's good. So anyway, we're seeing a two-party justice system. Yeah, that's why I just threw up there. We're seeing a two-party justice system. We're going to see if the elites, which now the GOP would be complicit in saving these elites, even if they are from the other side of the aisle. So again, March midterms, if something doesn't happen. Yes, it was a blue dress, as a matter of fact. Imagine that. Blue dress with red shoes. You didn't design that outfit, did you, K-Love? Because I'll speak entirely different about the situation if you design the outfit.
She designed the shoes, I bet you.
He did not have sex with that woman, Julie says. Oh, goodness gracious. I got a guys, I got a theory that I think is gaining traction that I may have heard on the internet. I may have whatever. I've got a theory that Trump just played NATO for the whole Greenland thing. My theory, and maybe I'm off base here. Maybe he's smarter. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. But let's look at everything in totality. So Trump was concerned that Greenland was falling into the hands of the Chinese and the Russians, and that's a very strategic part of the world for our missile defense system. So there's no way that China nor Russia should have any part of Greenland. But what's happening is they are slowly starting to move into Greenland. Not to mention Greenland has a lot of natural gas and a lot of rare earth minerals that we need for AI expansion. Another strategic issue, by the way. I think all of this rhetoric that Trump was talking about with annexing Greenland, I think it was a ploy to make NATO actually do their due diligence and begin defending and stopping Russia and Chinese incursions into Greenland. And I think he's playing 3D chess, and I think it freaking worked.
Yep. And, Patrick agreed with you here. Trump put
Mm-hmm.
security in Greenland, which is exactly what he's been asking for.
And it didn't cost us a dime, right? It was the mere threat of the crazy orange man doing exactly what he says he's going to do when it comes to these strategic issues. The mere threat of him saying, I'm going to annex Greenland for our national security interest, that mere threat actually had NATO doing this.
NATO forces are on exercise in Greenland at a time when American designs on the island threaten the alliance's very existence. NATO has not confirmed its approval of the drills, which reportedly involve troops from Sweden, Germany, France, the Netherlands and Canada. Hosts Denmark framed it as part of a bolstering of Greenland's defences.
It is within the framework of NATO that we are conducting these activities, and it is Denmark as the host country that has taken these initiatives. Therefore, I cannot imagine, nor do I want to speculate, that a NATO country would attack.
France says it's acting in full solidarity with Denmark. Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu warned that Washington must be taken at its word.
It is clear that the intentions of the Trump administration are serious, and that we must absolutely not underestimate the words of the American president.
NATO chief Mark Rutte will meet a delegation from Denmark and Greenland on Monday in Brussels. It's unclear whether this particular exercise, Operation Arctic Endurance, is anything but routine. There have been many similar drills in recent years. The latest in September was called Arctic Light. It involved more than 550 troops, including military observers from the United States. Observing from afar is the covetous eye of the man in the White House, who continues to say that the US needs Greenland.
So, I don't know, you can make of that what you will, and here's the thing, NATO only sent a handful of troops there to train. It was only something like 30 troops from different nations. So it's not like they really did anything. But the fact of the matter is, what this rhetoric from Trump did was it made Denmark admit that China and Russia had their eyes set on Greenland. And it also had them worried that Trump was going to take it over for strategic reasons. Not only strategic reasons, well, they're all strategic reasons, whether it be the rare earth minerals, whether it be the natural gas there, whether it be for our missile defense system, right? So ultimately, I think, guys, I don't know. I think he's playing 3D chess. I don't know what else to say. But I think what he's done in the past is showing that he's capable of doing anything, and that's a whole piece through strength, right?
Yeah, well, and since Trump's made it to this new what's the word I'm looking for? His new term. He has said he's going to do something, and he's done a lot of it. And a lot of stuff that people are like, holy crap, like grabbing Maduro, and those things. And people are understanding that he is not screwing around. And he is, I agree with you, he is playing 3D, 4D chess. He is 3 or 4 steps ahead of everybody. He's making people do stuff that they don't want to do out of fear that he's going to do stuff.
These are business tactics. Company A says, I'm going to buy company B. Company B now has a lot of interest and a lot of attention paid onto the stock. The stock rises. Everybody benefits. He wants this. I'm going to do this. No, you're not. All eyes are on Greenland. It's business. For an unsuccessful businessman, he did business 101 with them.
Yeah, and he's owning them, right? They're his bitch. I mean, he's made them his bitch. And they say, well, this is the end of NATO if Greenland falls to the United. We are NATO. We are NATO.
Yep.
Even the troops that came into Greenland came on all of the United States aircraft. That's how they got there. We are NATO. So, okay, it's the end of NATO. Good. We don't have to pay the billions of dollars every year to NATO.
I was just going to say,
we don't have to secure all of your friggin' borders, EU. Fine with me. Have at it, Mr. Putin.
Yep. I was just going to say, if we pulled completely out of NATO, NATO would crumble because we fund so much in NATO. And if we pulled our troops out of NATO, which I don't think would actually pull our troops out of Europe, I don't think that would actually happen. But, given aid, all the other things, start charging NATO for the premium price of American warfighting capability, much like we do with other nations, it's an
Yeah.
FAFO that they don't want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think no, I think he's Paul. I think he nailed it on the head. I think he's bringing his business savvy to the country, to the world. Right? He's bringing it to the world. So pretty good stuff. And speaking of bringing business savvy and people that are shaking in their boots right now, Iran, who's been now on day 17 of their protests, were they did apprehend some of the protesters. They were scheduled to execute at least one of them. Trump says, "I don't think that's a good idea. You probably want to rethink that, and or else there's going to be hell to pay." Immediately, they said, "Oh no, Mr. President, no, Poppy, no, no, Poppy, no. We're going to. I know that's not Persian. I get it. I understand." They immediately said, "No, we're not going to execute anybody." And let's talk about this. But the other day, yesterday, as a matter of fact, Iran did a self-imposed restriction on their airspace. Looks something like this yesterday. So that was yesterday. That was Iran's airspace. And what you're going to see happening today, a little more activity. But as I highlight some of these planes that are in the air, you're going to see that a lot of these are Iranian planes from the Iranian national air agencies. Either that or they are Middle Eastern style planes from like Dubai or something like that. But you can still see, I didn't zoom, you can see now that I've zoomed out, there's a lot of commercial traffic still going around Iran. And I think they were wholeheartedly expecting an intervention yesterday from the United States military. They didn't get that. Russ has a thought process on why that that whole thing might have played to our benefit.
So, Trump, they were like, this is my theory. So they sat there. Trump said, "Hey, watch out. If you don't start like slacking off, we're going to come in. We're going to do something about it to help these people get their freedom back." So Iran does they do. They put up their little thing. Number one, they didn't want to shoot down any aircraft that they may not wanted to have shot down. And they did all of their alerts. They put all of their higher ups in their bunkers. And you know what? They showed their hand because they changed a lot of stuff after we went in and bombed the crap out of them. What was that, back in June of last year? We bombed the crap out of them back then. They changed a lot of stuff up. Well, guess what? They just showed us everything they did. And if we were to go in within, I'd say the next week and a half, they have no way to reset in time.
Look, at the end of the day, they understand that they are no match for the American military. I don't know if you guys saw it, not to change the subject, but it does have to do with military prowess and power. Did you see the general, I think it was a general in Venezuela that actually survived the attack there? And what he said, he said 20 men hit the ground and killed over 300 people easily. Not only that, we used a sophisticated weapon that nobody, I don't know, I've never heard of it. I mean, I've heard of it for crowd control and stuff like that, like a sonic weapon. I know that's been deployed in some of the against some of our embassies before, but apparently there was some type of sonic weapon that basically immobilized the troops prior to even being attacked by the drones and the Air Force, and certainly before boots even hit the ground, that had guys bleeding out of their nose, bleeding out of their ears, vomiting, and and he flat out comes out and says, "Look, we were no match for any of this, and I don't think anybody in the world is a match for whatever the hell the United States has." Did you hear? Did you guys hear any of that?
I did. We actually talked about that on the Angry American podcast, both this week and last week. It's been rumored that it actually has been used against some of the protests that's been happening in and around the U.S.
Well, it's not being used enough, first of all. And Caleb, you're right. Havana syndrome. You're exactly right, and that's the same type of weapon. I have a feeling, though, that we have improved that to a spot we could do that from an aerial platform with a whole bunch more wattage that's going to reach out and touch them from a lot further away. So I suspect it's going to be yucky.
I got somewhere we can test that. Yeah, Minneapolis.
Yeah, let's see how it works. And the police departments do have some of that kind of stuff. I think we need the military version, and hell, maybe once the Insurrection Act is employed there, maybe our boys will do that. And actually, I went to a family event this week, and I could have used that. I could have used that device because it would have made my day a lot nicer. But
oh my Lord.
Trace
is in the background going, "Oh dear God."
He did not just say that. Yeah, no, it's true. It could have. I would have blasted that thing full military strength. I'd have had them all spitting out their meth. It would have been done.
Well, the good news is none of them are watching this.
In the back of the head.
No. It's a true story, Rev. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Guys, you know what time it is.
Time to blow out my ears.
There, that's a little bit of that Robertucci family reunion thing I needed right there.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounded like.
Prep of the week, I will lead it off. My prep of the week was I went on a ruck yesterday. Will, you'd be proud of me. Did about a 10K ruck with my pack through the woods. I brushed up on my navigation skills. I basically got off the main road and walked until I was lost, and then used my compass and my pace count to figure out how in the hell I could get back. And then, Russ, yeah, it worked. I didn't get lost. I did have some ticks in some very private spots that I had to pick out, but that's neither here nor there. But the best part of that is I come back and I got my group of guys here because Wednesday's training day. So after my 10K ruck through the woods with ticks all over me, the leader of this group decides now he wants to do a run and gun. He's going to put us under the timer. We're going to sprint about 60 yards. We're going to pick up a Freedom Seed dispenser, one that's not ours. We have to use somebody else's. And then we have to put off one shot, and it has to be a good shot. So we were timing ourselves. And look, the leader of our group, I got about, what do you think? I got 60 pounds on him?
Oh, easy.
Easy. You saying I'm a fat ass or what?
No, but he's a freaking beanpole.
Oh, Paul's shaking his head, yes. Yeah, so I got at least 60 pounds on him. I'm 6'1". So I go, look, let me just get this over with, but I'm not going to run full speed because I've already showed you that I'm way faster than you to begin with. So when I leisurely jog down there, which is a leisurely pace for me, and my time was like 16. Well, my time was exactly 16:32. I picked up his brick of an AK-47, and from about 40, 50 yards, I don't know, Jason, you can correct me if I'm right or wrong, I put the most perfect shot in the tee box, and it was amazing. So I put the gun away because that's just how I do it. And then the leader, Jason, he goes, "Oh, now it's my turn." So he's now going to go get what he calls my Mattel toy, which is my AR platform. He runs And I didn't know. I thought he was walking. I don't know. He was his full speed, but I thought he was walking. But I asked him, I'm like, was that full speed? He's like, yeah, he's huffing and puffing. No, he goes. I'm pretty sure he missed the target. Definitely didn't get a kill shot. But he ends up at 1864.
Now, I can't say nothing. I'd probably be at like an hour and 18. But but you definitely smoked his time.
Well, and that's when I asked him, because he's like, well, now I got a goal. I got to beat you. But it's always a competition with this guy. And I said, at what point are you just going to bow down and say, I'm defeated? I have met a superior man, and I surely pay homage to you, and I will no longer tempt fate by challenging you to these silly little duels, because I understand that you are what you are. So I don't know, Russ. Well, I don't know. Do you have any message that you might want to tell this guy?
Actually, the next time it happens, I'm hoping I'm there, because I'm going to video it. Public shaming does work.
There's no videos. Kelly, I will never hike. The worst hikes I've ever done were the beginning of the Appalachian Trail. And if I never see those hills again in my entire life, I will be a happy man.
You got to respect the no surrender.
Right. What's that, Paul?
You got to respect the no surrender, no defeat in him.
No, I get it. I understand.
Oh, yeah.
But at some point, you have to capitulate and say, look, I can't continue as a man. I can't continue to look bad against a guy that outweighs me by 70 pounds, a fat Italian guy, and clearly outshoots me every time, clearly runs faster than me, clearly is more of a specimen than, I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, hit your soundboard. You know which one you got to hit. You got to hit it. Hit it.
That one? No, I don't know which one it is.
That one didn't come over. You know which one. You can act like
anyway,
a man.
No, we joke, but and we also did do a little bit of learned about some deficiencies within our radio systems that we need to work out a little bit. Oh,
Joanna Wallace in the house.
Yeah, Jay says he's never going to quit. All right, I'm sorry.
Joanna Wallace in the house. Stop to give us a like and share.
We appreciate
Good to see you, Joanna.
It's a long time no see. We love you, sweetie. Good to have you back.
Yeah, hopefully everything is going okay.
Perfect. She
we
leveled
had
up.
We had a ton of people. If you go to the pinned comments there, Pete, there's a ton of people that have done preps of the week. And while you're going there, my prep of the week was I acquired a travel Berkey, actual Berkey. And I mean, I've been rocking that one from Shit Hit the Fan and Go, and it has been working great. But this travel Berkey takes up a little less counter space, which makes the missus happy. And it's only 1.5 gallons, but that's okay, because that's about what we use a day, for coffee, and then filling up the water bottles for meds and stuff like that.
Very good. Paul, were you just trying to get better?
Yeah, it's no prep of the week over the past couple weeks. Just been trying to heal up and kind of get back to 100%. I've been feeling like death for the better part of 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's going around. This is a nasty bug going around. I've been trying to isolate myself and stay away from it. However, when I come home from my ruck and Jason's in my front yard with a bunch of guys, then I have to do my due diligence there. So let's see, Reverend Finch. Let's see what his prep of the week was. Got a groovy new headlamp, he says. Did an inventory of the old Freedom Seeds. Outstanding. Rev, you need to stop by and test out that Freedom Seed thrower that you got, brother. We'll run you through some paces with that. Mr. Kelly, my man crush Monday, 3 months worth of dog food. That's one thing I need to pick up a little bit extra on and drop it off at the AO. Go ahead, Russ.
And speaking of freedom seas, folks, Joe Dolio mentioned this the other day on one of his posts. Everybody has their EDC carry ammo, but you need to rotate that stuff out, folks. Make sure it still works. Relax the magazine springs, use new magazines. Take that round, once a year, take those out. And I understand that the carry ammo is a little more expensive, especially if you're using hydroshocks or something like that. Take them out, use them during your practice, and reload in a new magazine that hasn't been filled for a year.
Yeah, I'm bad about that. I need to cycle out my stuff and make it happen. Sandra says apples and potatoes preserved. Outstanding. Did you pressure can those? Curious. Answer that in let's see what oh wow. Miss Terry says they're getting a half a cow on Saturday. Out freaking
Very
standing.
nice. And I guarantee she's paying less per pound than we are at Publix or wherever.
100%.
I'd
Let's
love to
see.
be able to do that.
Miss Julie says she's got her freeze. Oh, I would like to know how those plantains come out. So she's running. They renovated their kitchen finally. Just take your time, Roy. Just get done whenever you can, brother. I understand. Sooner or later, she keeps asking if it's done yet after 6 months. It might be time to get after it. Plantains. I'd be interested to see how those come out, and tell me how you did that. Speaking of freeze drying, guys, Miss Melissa and Tiny Tooch are going to film this week the process in which we freeze dry raw eggs. So we're going to film that this week and we'll put it out next week so you guys can see our process for that. Sandra says she put up some food out friggin' standing. Jason says we learned about radios. We did. Kelly, I'm definitely not going to ruck in the mountains. Not yet anyway. I'll wait till Jason finally catches me on the sprints and then I'll up my game a little bit, but I've got a long time to worry about that, as slow as he is. Patrick 7, new handhelds. Hey, have you guys that's good. Have you guys seen the handhelds that Rush Beater has on his website? I think Joe Dolio might have mentioned them with a link. Those look really cool to me. They do CB band and stuff like that. I'm kind of considering those. If anybody has any experience with those handhelds that are multi-band, they do your ham bands, they do aviation bands as well as CB. I would like some input on those. They're relatively cheap, but I want to know how they work. Baby girl says back to school.
Good
hopefully
girl.
they teach you how to spell college. That'd be first thing.
A start. That'd be a start.
But good. We're proud of you, baby girl. I'm glad you're getting back there. And she's accepted into business management. So she'll be able to help me with my multi-dollar company.
Hey, she's doing a heck of a job.
Wait, you're getting paid for this?
On your reels.
Yes, and she's taken over doing all of my reels and all of my my shorts and cuts from the podcast. So I certainly appreciate that.
Yeah, she's doing a great job of that.
A new 45-liter backpack, new sleep system, and a 3x3 tarp. Outstanding. Did you get that backpack that T was talking about, Larry? Answer that in comments if you would.
That was a pretty nice looking backpack that Bob talked about.
Yeah, it did. It was very low profile. I kind of like it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Joanna says her prep of the week is she has a prosthetic and broke her femur back a week ago in Milton. All right. Saw the top of the femur, and now I'm titanium. Bionic woman. Atta girl. Good. When I can't. Well, good. Let's see. Tom says he's bringing down a cooler of beef again and pork down to Daytona. Well, we'll help you take care of that. Okay.
Absolutely.
Larry says no, that backpack was not that one. It was a Van Quest.
Van Quest. Yep.
Oh, Melissa also says that she's also pressure canning butter this week because apparently my daughter is infatuated with butter and feels going through the preps and how in tune she is to my prepper lifestyle, she decided she needs more long-term butter storage.
Well, and Teresa and I a couple of years ago made butter. We bought some heavy cream and just ran it in the the KitchenAid mixer until it turned into butter, and it turned out pretty well. I mean, but being able to can it or freeze dry it, that sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah, freeze drying is kind of tough. You need to aerosol it, and that's out of my realm of expertise as well as my equipment. But you can certainly pressure can that stuff. We have some. We just don't have enough for baby girl. Kelly says his carry ammo looks circa World War II.
Well, that's because Kelly was alive during World War II.
Terry says $6 a pound for the cut. That's not horrible.
That's a good price. Good price.
Yeah. And then Guy, good job, Guy. 1 week not smoking.
You're doing a whole lot better than we are, Guy. Teresa and I are trying our best to quit for medical reasons, and we need to get a little better at it.
Yeah. Let's see. Diana says she got a couple extra months of kidney med samples. Outstanding.
That's always a bonus. That is always a bonus. I'm in that situation as well. And, I try to stockpile what I can. Year and a half is where I'm at right now. I would love to get more than that. Because unfortunately, when they run out, I may be SOL. Unless, I did talk to Doc Will and Pat Militich on Monday after the podcast about it, and they've had good success getting people off of their anti-rejection drugs with their products. But I'm leery.
I would take that with a grain of salt, and I don't even care.
Yeah, I'm extremely leery about it.
Yeah.
Although I believe, Teresa's going to sit down with them at Mountain Readiness and talk to them, and we may actually start at least the salt, because we use salt every day, so we may start there, and that should not affect me adversely, and we'll see. And guys, I got to give a shout out to Doc Steve. Pete knows who I'm talking about. This is what your tribe does. I have a bad tooth, or let me rephrase that. I had a bad tooth. And I contacted Doc Steve, who is a member of the tribe down here in Florida. And he was able to get me in. Number one, he hooked me up with some antibiotics off the bat, and then he got me in today, and he yanked said tooth out. So much better now.
I don't even know how you're here. If I had my tooth ripped out, I'd be done.
Yeah, it's called bourbon, brother.
I feel you. That's it. Do we got any more preps of the week? Looks like we went through it. We're an hour and 15 minutes past my allotted time frame, but that's all right. We had some good content. Yeah, so next week, now I'm going to hold Tiny Tooch and Mama Tooch feet to the fire now. So 2 videos by next week. I want the process for freeze drying raw eggs, how we do it, and then also apparently they're going to do some butter. So I can only imagine what the pounds and pounds and pounds of butter are going to cost me, but that's okay. And yes, we have made butter before. I just didn't like it. It didn't come out right.
You have to add a little bit of salt to it.
Yeah,
because we didn't, and we found that out. But add a little salt to it, and then go from there. Rev, look up. Reach out to me. I'll give you Doc Steve's information. I was extremely impressed with Doc Steve. Him and his entire staff were just great individuals.
Yep, I agree. Guy and Christy, give me a call after the podcast, please. I want to talk to you about something. And Paul, we're gonna start with you for the whatever you want to say for the next 30 seconds.
Well, it's a new year. Again, thank you guys all for last year. Look to getting more into this prepper lifestyle as 2026 progresses. Any advice you guys have for me, reach out to me on Facebook. Definitely let me know.
Good, brother. Thank you very much. Russ, what do you have to tell the peeps?
Guys, as always, community. Cannot stress it enough. I'm living proof. Take care of each other. Get your training. We have a bunch of training going on in February, 2 different classes. Go to the one that would benefit you the most. And as a reminder, it's always better to be someone's glass of whiskey than anybody's cup of tea. That's all I got, Pete.
Sounds good, guys. And look, training's expensive. I get it. But here's the deal. I went out this weekend or the other day. I simply put my pack on and I walked through the woods, right? It helped me brush up it didn't cost me anything but my time. So look, I get it. Training's expensive, especially some of the high level training that some of our tribe offers. I understand it. I get it. But if you're not at least doing stuff that's free, you have to remember that there are people right now in this country training to kill you. They're training to kill you. They're training to kill your values. They're training to kill what America is all about. And we're sitting on our couch because we're using excuses that we don't want to. We're too tired because we work today. Put your pack on and go for a walk. That's training, and it's free. But I don't know, tell you, we harp on this stuff. So think about it. Think if it's worth your while. Just remember, there are people training to kill you and your family. They're in this country right now, and some of them are even Americans, right? So figure that out for yourself and be safe out there, guys. If you can't be safe, well, shit, be dangerous. Thanks for watching the Eden Army podcast. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe.